He's one of our own! Dhannoo! He's one of our own!
Hi guys, and welcome to the Sunderland vs West Brom match review. Now I want to firstly apologise that there was no preview to this game, and the review is also very late. I completely forgot to tell you guys that I was going up to Sunderland early doors on the Friday, and I've just got back now. It's sort of mid-afternoon on the Sunday, but it was worth it. It was absolutely worth it because we've got ourselves back to winning ways with a Mike Dodds masterclass, and I'm absolutely buzzing for the bloke. You know, in the build-up to the game, he was saying how he wanted to right his wrong for the first time around. Of course, we're in League One, completely different situation, different scenario at that time. We're a different mentality, a completely different set of players, and of course, he sort of oversaw some of the worst results we'd seen. Of course, he was only there for, was it a couple of games, I think, whilst we're in League One, when obviously the previous manager was sacked and he was interim for a period and it didn't go to plan. He wanted to make it right. He was saying all the correct things in the pre-match, and I didn't know whether that was just going to build us up for failure. But what he did say, and I completely agree with, and I love that he said it as well, massive respect to him, both before and after the game, he was saying, you know, one thing that he has taken from the last few days since Mowbray has been sacked is the professionalism of the lads, and that's all credit to the staff upstairs and the kind of play that they're bringing in, because of course it's all well and good bringing in players who have a load of talent, but if they don't have the right character and the right attitude, then there's no point. And apparently, no, of course, some of the lads were gutted that Tony Mowbray had gone, but, that was a 5-minute conversation, and then it was straight to the training field, straight to the training ground, and straight back to it, work as usual type thing. They were so desperately wanting to do well for Mike Dodds, and they're playing for the club, not just playing for themselves. Yeah, again, it was gutting that Mowbray's gone, but their professionalism has remained. It's not like they've downed tools or throw the toys out the pram, it seems, according to Mike Dodds, and he said that exact same thing after the game as well, and he's just been mightily impressed with the lads' attitude. So we're bringing in the right kind of players. There might be players out there who are better than some of ours, but they might have a shite attitude that wouldn't be able to cope with times like this. And when there is a bit of a bit of turbulence throughout the season, to be able to cope with it as well as they have. And against a team like West Brom as well, it can't be understated how good a side they are. And I will put it on record, they are a very good side. I expect them to be in the sort of top 6 come the end of the season. They're a good side, so to go to them and play the way we did, and I think we deserved the win, to be honest with you, and we won 2-1, of course. A bit gutted that we didn't keep a clean sheet, in the words of Michael Bowers. But, we went into the game, without a striker against, I thought, Jesus Christ, what's going on here? But he's played Job as a sort of 10. I think when we're almost defending, it looked like a flat 4-4-2 with Pato in goal, obviously. We had Huggins on one side, Hume on the other, Ballard and O'Nien in the middle of defence, with Dan Neil and Ekwa, one side Roberts, one side Clark, and then almost two centre forwards in line with each other almost was Alshish and Job. Then on the attack it did, I think one of them either pushed in front of the other, depending on the situation. But I think we played very, very well. We were making clear-cut chances. We scored relatively early on, which, how the hell it was given us offside. I was sat on the side of that linesman as well, and he had a fucking stinker for both sides, by the way. And I will say, and I say this all the time, because if we lose a game and I complain about officials, everyone says, "Oh, you're just sour. It's just because you lost. You're bitter." I'm going to complain about the officials in this one. I always complain about the officials. Win, lose or draw, I will be fair. We should have scored. So the ball comes back. I can't remember who strikes the ball. Is it Roberts? Maybe he strikes the ball. I know Roberts is the one who's playing him, who is offside at the time. I think the ball falls back into the box after a save. We try and ping it back in, and Bellingham taps it home. But as the ball is struck, before the keeper save it, to fall back to Bellingham, it's Roberts who's offside. Bellingham is about a yard onside. Roberts has no interference with the play at all. He's miles away from it, so he can't be blamed. So that's a goal that should have been a goal, and it wasn't. Then not too long after, Roberts is hacked down in the box. It's a tangling of legs. As he does, he weaves in and out from right to left in between defenders. And looking at the replay, it is a tangling of legs. He's somewhat hacked down. And it's an absolute stonewall. From where I was sat, it was an absolute stonewall. And looking at the replays, it's still a stonewall penalty. Not given. Ridiculous. Now, you can argue in West Brom would say Ballard was a lucky man. He's gone through the back of former Sunderland man Josh Madger. He definitely takes Madger before he gets the ball. But he got the booking for it. But Madger goes off injured. But second half comes and we eventually take the lead. And it's Dan Ballard and it's from a set piece, which I never expected. He gets in front of his man at the near post and manages to get it in. Then we make it 2-0. Pritchard comes on. He completely changes the game. He needs to be starting Pritchard, by the way. He needs to be starting. Pritchard, we're on the counter-attack. They're scrambling backwards after a bad touch from their defender. I think it was the captain. Pritchard takes it, plays a beautiful ball in for Dan Neil, 1-1 with the keeper, and the most composed finish you'll ever see. 1-1 with the keeper. You're often, when he has that much time, that much space, you can often overthink things, usually do something wrong here, or it's straight at the keeper, or blaze it over the bar because you're just overthinking, you're getting in your own head. But he waits for the keeper for a split second to sit on his arse, sits him down and dinks it into the far corner to make it 2-0. And at that point, I thought the momentum's flying there, but we've allowed them to come down that left-hand side. Ball's put in the box, shocking defending, really, really bad defending, but it's flicked in, beats Patterson to make it a slightly nervy ending, but we do see it out 2-1, absolutely buzzing that we're now back in the top 6 as well, thanks to a couple of results that did go our way. I think it was QPR that beat Hull that kept us in the top 6 just about. I think second Ipswich, they're 18 points ahead, so for me it looks like it's going to be Leicester and Ipswich are going to go up at this rate, but we have Leeds next up, so it doesn't get any easier. But yeah, it's a fantastic win, and again, it just gives me a lot of confidence in the lads. And we just look so threatening as well. A lot. I think what's not surprising, I guess, but Mark Dodds was nowhere near the managerial job when it comes to the odds and Sky Bet and what have you. But the second that the 90 minutes finished, he's now 8-1, or he was as I'm recording this. And there's no manager being announced as I'm recording this either. But yeah, it just shows we started to play down the centre a bit more. Roberts had a fantastic game, and we weren't including the likes of Jobe, who can play as the centre forward. Of course, in the future, we want to see strikers on the pitch, but I think it worked for this game perfectly. And again, we managed to get away with 3 points, and that is all that mattered. But yeah, so fantastic. Maybe it's a bit of a mess this review. I'm just knackered. It's been a long drive home, but yeah, 3 points in the bag. Absolutely buzzing with it. It was great to see a load of you guys up in Sunderland as well over the course of the couple of days I was up there. Always fantastic to see you a lot, and it still takes me by surprise when people shout jamsarny, but I'm kind of used to being called a jam butty now, a jam sandwich. But there you go. Let me know in the comments down below, what did you think of the game? What were you most impressed with, or what were you not happy with? The officials were fucking appalling. Again, like I say, even on their side, the officials, that linesman on our side was horrendous. There was times where I think Trey Hume at the back end of the game, he took it out of play. You could fit probably 2 balls either side, or on one side of the sideline there, and he still didn't give it. And it happened a couple of times. It was right in front of him. He must have been slightly impaired when it comes to his vision, but there we go. So I will complain. I'll give it to both sides. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. What did you think? If you've enjoyed, hit the like button for me. It'd be massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already, to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, take care and stay jammy.